Welcome to this training module titled Sponsor Monitoring. Monitoring visits are an essential component of any clinical trial. The monitoring visit helps the sponsor confirm the integrity of the clinical trial data as well as ensuring the safety of the research subjects. Before we begin, this procedure provides the responsibilities for key research personnel with preparing, scheduling, and managing monitoring visits for industry-sponsored clinical trials. Monitoring visits are essential to ensure clinical trials are conducted according to the study protocol, regulations, and good clinical practice guidelines. The scope of this procedure applies to all research activity administered by MedStar Health facilities and all affiliated and satellite locations, MedStar Georgetown University Hospital and Georgetown University Medical Center. While there are several definitions in the procedure, the key definitions presented are centered around how the electronic health record connects with monitoring visits. MedConnect is the electronic health record used across MedStar Health facilities and is a digital version of a patient's medical record and transferring that data into a case report form. MedConnect Power Chart combines all the essential electronic health record elements into a single platform, providing a comprehensive view of patient data and the use of auto text. MedConnect Power Trials is a module within MedConnect Power Chart that integrates current research studies into clinical care. And Advara Encore is a web-based clinical trial management system designed to manage operational tasks of a clinical trial, not the clinical history of every subject. Please refer to the glossary for more comprehensive definitions. Responsibilities of the principal investigator and key personnel are centered on scheduling, preparing, managing, participating in, and resolving any outstanding items or queries resulting from the monitoring visit. The sponsor monitor is responsible for ensuring, on behalf of the sponsor, that the clinical site conducts research in accordance with the regulations, good clinical practice, and the IRB-approved protocol. Tasks during a monitoring visit may include verify adherence to the study protocol, review of regulatory files, ensure proper test article storage, dispensing accountability, verify accuracy and quality of data, and meet with research personnel. As a covered entity, MedStar Health has a right and obligation to control access to medical records. However, the sponsor monitor must follow the FDA regulations for drugs and medical devices, which state that sponsors must review and monitor investigations to ensure the safety of human subjects and compliance of the investigation with the approved protocol. The monitor is the key communication link between the sponsor and the investigative site. In the first part of this procedure, we have introduced the purpose, scope, and some key definitions. We are now going to transition into discussing the set of actions to manage a sponsor monitoring visit. As a reminder, under a HIPAA authorization for a research study, a subject must give specific written permission for the protected health information to be disclosed to designated third parties, such as monitors. When listing monitors and other parties, the authorization must specifically identify them or describe them as a class of persons who may receive PHI, such as a health insurance company. Steps for a successful monitoring visit. A successful monitoring visit depends on clear roles and responsibilities and detailed preparation from both the study site and the monitor. The frequency of monitoring visits is not fixed, but rather depends on the complexity of the protocol, the rate of enrollment, and along with any regulatory compliance issues. Scheduling the monitoring visit. Schedule a mutually convenient date and time for the sponsor and key personnel to attend a monitoring visit. Review the monitor's agenda to confirm objectives, what records will be reviewed, and ensure availability of key personnel. If on-site monitoring visit, confirm the number of monitors and identify a private location or office space to complete the monitoring visit. If a remote monitoring visit, schedule a meeting on an institutionally approved platform such as Teams or Zoom. And at least 1 week prior to a scheduled monitoring visit, initiate the process to prepare a monitor for network and system access. Refer to the procedure titled Restricted Access to the MedStar Health Network for Research Monitoring to get started. Preparing for the monitoring visit. Ensure that all documentation, such as IRB approvals, are available for the monitoring visit. Ensure data from the electronic health record is accurately transcribed into the case report form. Gather all documents requested by the monitor, such as lab reports, and organize them for easy access and identification. Adhere to the reported timelines specified in the protocol for deviations, adverse events, and unanticipated problems. Meet with research pharmacy to confirm investigational product accountability and inventory are available and complete. Ensure the patient chart queue is available and visible in the electronic health record for the monitoring visit. Managing the monitoring visit. For on-site monitoring, it is advisable to check with facilities regarding the type of security and identification needed to present on campus, such as a visitor's badge. Whether in person or remote, ensure monitor signs the monitoring visit log, and a signature must be either wet ink or a Part 11 compliant signature, such as DocuSign. Taking photos, screen captures, or clips of a subject's electronic health record is a serious data breach and is prohibited due to strict patient privacy regulations and MedStar Health policies. To ensure confidentiality, make sure the monitor is in a private setting when reviewing records. And check in periodically with the monitor to ensure key personnel provide information or documents in a timely manner as requested. If a monitor improperly or inadvertently removes protected health information from a clinical site, it is considered a data breach defined by HIPAA, an impermissible use or disclosure of protected health information. Managing monitor access to the electronic health record. Due to early preparation, the monitor has unique credentials, their own login and password to access the patient chart queue. If there is not adequate time to grant a monitor access to the MedStar Health Network and the electronic health record, research personnel may log in and maintain control of navigation. This is referred to as over-the-shoulder monitoring. Providing personal credentials to a monitor or anyone else violates the HIPAA security rule and can result in serious penalties. Printed and certified copies from the electronic health record are discouraged, as copies present a limited view of pertinent source data. Do not print a document that has been electronically signed in the electronic health record and then re-sign with wet ink, as the electronic signature serves as the legally binding authentication. After the monitoring visit, promptly address issues identified during the visit, and the patient chart queue will automatically be deleted. Documents that are not part of the electronic health record, such as diaries or questionnaires, should be uploaded to the Georgetown or MedStar Health HIPAA-compliant platform, such as Box. While technology offers a way to review a study source data and documents remotely, never upload protected health information directly to a sponsor-provided cloud-based storage. Now, let's take a brief moment to check in. 2 questions. Question number 1. What is the main purpose of a monitoring visit? Monitoring visits are essential to ensure clinical trials are conducted according to the study protocol, regulations, good clinical practice guidelines, and maintaining subject safety and data integrity. Question 2. Once the date of the monitoring visit is confirmed, when do you initiate the process for monitor access to the network and systems? Initiating the process for monitors' access to the network and systems begins at least 1 week prior to the confirmed monitoring visit date. Now that we have discussed the monitoring visit, we are going to transition to additional considerations regarding MedConnect and 21 CFR Part 11 compliance. Often, we hear a monitor ask, as part of the monitoring visit, please provide documentation showing that MedConnect is compliant with 21 CFR Part 11. In responding, you may state something like, MedConnect does not fall under the FDA's enforcement or jurisdiction. As part of our procedure, Attachment A describes how the MedConnect system meets the Office of the National Coordinator for Health Information Technology Standards, and that its data output maintains integrity consistent with 21 CFR Part 11. After you respond, you may print the document and hand it to the monitor. Related forms. The monitoring visit log is the only form related to this procedure. Logs and forms in a clinical trial are considered records and are subject to review by the FDA during an inspection, including those in electronic format. In addition, research records must be retained for the longer period between federal regulations and institutional policies. Federal regulations often specify a minimum retention period, while institutional policies may require longer retention for various reasons. In summary, the purpose of this procedure provides the responsibility for key personnel involved with scheduling, preparing, and managing monitoring visits for industry-sponsored clinical trials. We learned that the frequency of monitoring visits depend on the complexity of the protocol, the rate of enrollment, and whether any compliance issues exist. Scheduling the monitoring visit. Schedule a mutually convenient date and time for the monitoring visit, review the monitor's agenda, prepare for an on-site or remote monitoring visit, and initiate the process for the monitor's access to the network. Preparing for the monitoring visit. Prepare the documents that were requested by the monitor, resolve any outstanding queries, gather additional records as requested, and ensure that reporting is consistent with the protocol. Meet with Research Pharmacy and start the chart queue request. Managing the monitoring visit. Confirm if a visitor's badge is required for an on-site monitoring visit and make sure the monitor signs the monitoring visit log. While reviewing records in a private setting, screen captures of data is prohibited. For an efficient visit, periodically check in with the monitor and remember that protected health information must never leave the site. Managing monitor access to the electronic health record. During the monitoring visit, the patient chart queue is visible. If the monitor did not have adequate time to obtain credentials, over-the-shoulder monitoring is allowed. Never share your credentials with a monitor, and remember that certified copies are discouraged and that the electronic signature in the electronic health record is legally valid. Finally, promptly follow up after the monitoring visit. And remember, at least 1 week prior to a scheduled monitoring visit, initiate the process to prepare a monitor for network and system access. Refer to the procedure titled Restricted Access to the MedStar Health Network for Research Monitoring. The 3 key takeaways regarding a monitoring visit include: Takeaway 1, patient safety and well-being are the top priority. Takeaway 2, data integrity and quality are essential for reliable results. And takeaway 3, compliance with regulations and the protocol is non-negotiable. This concludes the overview of the sponsor monitoring procedure. If you would like more information on this joint MedStar Georgetown procedure, please visit the Georgetown website shared on the screen or the MedStar Health Research Institute procedures available on Starport. If you have any questions about the sponsor monitoring procedure, you should ask your manager for clarification or assistance. They can provide guidance, answer your questions, and help you understand the procedure more effectively. Take care.